Hey, how's it going, y'all? So yeah, another phenomenal One Piece chapter. I'm just gonna say it right here, this was an easy 10 out of 10. And so far, I think, in my opinion, this is the best Elbaf chapter we've gotten so far. Now, I was planning to do a live reaction to this chapter, but unfortunately I got spoiled on the major reveal or reunion that happens later on. So, unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that. I didn't feel like it was right to live react to something I already knew was going to happen. So, it is unfortunate, but I kind of wish I did do that because despite knowing what was going to happen or transpire in the chapter, I was still moved. I was brought to tears. This shit hits so fucking hard. And that just goes to a testament of Oda's writing capability. Despite knowing some of the contents or major content that's going to happen in this chapter, I was moved. But yeah, it is what it is. After all, you can't always take a shit on the toilet and expect it to be hard, you know? And this might be recency bias to say right here, but with this trend, if it continues, Elbaf may surpass Egghead before we even know it. And that's just crazy to consider because Egghead was phenomenal in its own right. Review on that coming shortly, by the way. And if you've been following my Twitter for a while now, you'd know exactly why I'm saying this. It's because I believe that One Piece is at its best when it's focused around the Straw Hat Pirates. And I don't mean through fights or altercations, but through substantial character focus. That's the main reason why Whole Cake Island remains to this day my favorite post-timeskip arc, because it revolved around Luffy and Sanji's relationship, Luffy progressing as a captain, Katakuri's character writing, yada yada yada. While yes, Egghead did have outstanding character writing for both Kuma and Bonnie, I obviously care about the Straw Hats way more because of the time we spent with them. And even then, we never really got a chapter for Kuma, much like this one. Whereas Kuma's flashback was a montage of the pivotal moments of his life, we kind of zoom past everything, never really having time to dig deep and be in the moment. But that's not the case with this chapter. It was really slow, and I mean that in a good way, because the whole thing just centered around Robin, what she was going through, how she felt, what made her feel that way, and the eventual reunion with Saul that just made her let it all go. Here we got to just take a step back and absorb exactly what was going on. We got a good look, or extensive look, at how Robin felt during the early days of her life as a fugitive, something of which was kind of alluded to or shown just a tiny bit in her original flashback, but a lot of it was left to our imagination. Show don't tell, after all. It's one of the golden rules of storytelling, and we see why that is the case right here. No matter what our peanut brains try to imagine, it would never hit as hard as actually seeing the pages, the people, the characters, the emotions that Oda puts onto the page. For example, I think it's a sound assumption to suggest that Robin was suicidal during her life due to all the trauma and all the betrayal she went through. But just imagining that doesn't even remotely compare to seeing a little kid go to the edge of a cliff to contemplate whether she should jump or not because the pain is just too fucking much. And the only thing that holds her back from doing that are her mom's words, her mom's wish for her to live, and her best friend saying that one day she will meet people like him, people that will want her to stay and live. A future so alien to her that she doubts whether it could even exist in the first place. And when that possible obtainable future arrived for her, she was so scared of betrayal that she'd rather just die. It's just so gut-wrenching, man, because she felt that minuscule amount of time that she spent with the Straw Hat Pirates was enough to justify all the pain and suffering she went through throughout her whole life. As if that's all she ever deserved, because she was born a devil. She was someone that needed to be eradicated. Obviously, we know that's not the case after Enies Lobby and everything. Existence is not in fact a crime, Robin. But this chapter reinforced why she felt that way to begin with, which made her reunion with Saul hit so much harder because she was forced to grow up as a kid, had to endure, had to mature to live and survive. So her meeting up with Saul again and just letting it all go, letting herself be a kid again for the first time in her whole life basically, it was just such a cathartic moment, man. I fucking love this chapter so much. I'm just really glad that Robin is finally getting the attention that she deserves, because in my opinion, she is the best written Straw Hat, or at least one of the best written Straw Hats. So it sucks that after her character arc in Enies Lobby, she was kind of neglected for most of the story, and it's only up until Wano where she actually got some real character focus done with her. And then we saw bits and pieces of that in Egghead, and then now Elbaf, she's getting some actual focus with her reunion with Saul. I love how we are actually getting more depth, more explanation, more development for her, even though it's been so long since the last time we got something like this. Her reunion with Saul wasn't just a pivotal moment for her, but also the rest of the Straw Hats. We see that the best through Luffy, who was so excited to go out and try Elbaf cuisine. We all know how infatuated he is with food, but the moment that Robin's savior comes up, he just drops that idea completely to meet and presumably thank the one person that was there throughout Robin's childhood, the one person that Robin could consider a real friend. And obviously he wants to bring him back to the tavern so they can party together, but you know. Honestly, the most surprising thing wasn't the reunion itself, because we already knew that was happening from Egghead, but how early it happened. Usually in these One Piece arcs, it takes a while before we get things rolling and until we get to the juice, the meat and potatoes of the actual character story arcs. But here we had it in the first couple chapters of Elbaf, which, one, gives me hope that other Straw Hats will get character-focused writing as well, especially Usopp, but also that this arc is moving. It might not be as long as we expect it to be. But outside of the character-focused stuff, I thought Elbaf couldn't get more magical than it already did with climbing up rainbows, but here we have them sailing on clouds. Not even sailing on clouds, they're using clouds to sail. Literally flying ships. Fucking hell. Oda's creativity literally knows no bounds, man. This dude's been at it for more than 20 years and he's still putting out not only unique settings, but unique modes of transportation, unique modes of communication, unique fucking everything, basically. Like, this dude is a monster, man. Holy shit. At this point, the only thing that Elbaf is really missing is a really good antagonist, and I'm sure that we're still in the early stages of the arc, so obviously that'll come a bit later, or maybe even in the next chapter or something like that. But it is missing that key moment, that key player that will shake things up, make things even more interesting. And it could be Loki for that matter, but I don't feel like he will exactly be an actual villain. He might just be an anti-hero. But we'll see. But yeah, that's about all I have to say about this chapter. I really hope that we get more character-focused chapters like this one in the future because I fucking love this shit so much. But anyway, yeah, like, subscribe, all that jazz, and I will see you all in the next video. See ya.